I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you're a foreigner and you're not white, the chance that you're going to be considered pretty in Korea is extremely low.
You know what's crazy? Almost immediately when I meet people, within like minutes, if not seconds, I could tell if they have brown or black friends. You don't. You don't. I can tell.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video is a video of a Korean girl that moved to the US about maybe 5-6 years ago, speaking on the Korea beauty standard. And this has really struck conversation for people, and literally she's been called out and being dragged. So she came online to talk about how she, as a Korean woman, that in Korea, if you're not having a pale skin, typically showing pictures of white girls, pale skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, that if you don't have all those features in Korea, you're not considered beautiful, and that most foreigners in Korea will not be considered beautiful and all that. Mind you, this is a girl that I shared a story before on her page on how she was not considered beautiful. She was being bullied for being ugly while she was in Korea, but once she moved to the US, she was considered beautiful. So this video has really struck a conversation that has raised foreigners in Korea to speak up and give their own thought and opinion on what she said. So we're going to hear our original video, people's response to it, and then our response to people's response. So let's go check out this video because this has really struck a conversation of Korea standard, beauty standard, and even the world beauty standard. And for me, I just feel like when it comes to beauty standard, whether we want to admit it or not, generally, universally, generally is being considered the beauty standard in most countries, most community, most society is close to whiteness. That's what it is. Anyway, guys, let's go check out this video and then we'll come back and talk more.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you're a foreigner and you're not white, the chance that you're going to be considered pretty in Korea is extremely low. As some of you guys already know, Korea has very specific beauty standards, and that being said, no matter if you're a foreigner or not, you have to fit into beauty standards if you want to be called pretty. Which means you have to fit in the same beauty standard that works for Korean people. So regardless of your races, your skin color, you have to be pale, you have to be skinny, you have to have a high nose bridge, and etc. So girls that look like her are the ones that are considered pretty in Korea. Here's another example of a foreign girl that will be considered super pretty in Korea. So as you can see, 90% of the time they're all white. So if you're looking like those two girls, congratulations, you are pretty in Korea. However, one thing I want you guys to understand is that most majority of Korean guys still don't see foreign girls seriously, which I'm gonna make another video about. So don't get taken advantage of, please. I also wanted to add that if you don't fit into Korean beauty standard or beauty standard anywhere, who gives a nobody cares. And I know it sounds cliche, and I did have a phase where I thought there was only one way to be beautiful, but as I'm seeing many people from many backgrounds, now I truly believe that everyone is beautiful in their own way. So yeah, I just mentioned it so you guys don't take this video too seriously, and if you guys have anything else you want to know, please let me know. To you, but if you're a foreigner and you're not white, the chance that you're going to be considered pretty in Korea is extremely low. You know, Korea has very specific beauty standards, and that being said, no matter if you're a foreigner or not, you have to fit into beauty standards if you want to be called pretty.
Girl, it is giving Koreans don't find me pretty, so they will never find you pretty because you're a foreigner and you're not white and blonde. I don't even know what was the purpose of that video, but that sounds so bad and there's a lot to unpack there. I saw that creator a few times on my FYP and I thought like, oh my god, that's a Korean girl that moved to the US and she's denouncing the crazy South Korean beauty standards. But I was so surprised to see that she came up with this video. It looks like she also believes in that South Korean beauty standard, and because she doesn't fit in, it's literally impossible for her to think that other people who are not white and not Korean could be considered pretty in Korea. And that's so insane to me. Like, I get it, I'm a black girl and there are a lot of racist people, but at the same time, like, don't tell me I'm ugly. What? I mean, I didn't come to Korea to fit in the Korean beauty standards because I'm literally from another race, so I'm not expecting to fit in their beauty standards, okay? But do not tell me I'm ugly because I'm not. Whenever I look at the mirror, I see a baddie and I get told that I'm baddie every day. The first thing that I got told when I got down from the plane in South Korea was, "Wow, 진짜 예쁘다." And that was from an old Korean lady in a Juma. She was literally like, wow, 예쁘다. And she came to me and she started talking to me and asking me a bunch of questions because she thought I was pretty. I mean, I get it. Korea has crazy colorist beauty standards. Beauty is so subjective. So, like, if you think that I'm not pretty, like, keep it to yourself. Don't come here trying to convince me that I'm not pretty because I don't fit in the Korean beauty standards. What the hell? Anyways, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Bye.
And beauty standards. Let's talk about it again because there's a highly controversial video going around right now that's basically saying that certain types of people are just not considered beautiful in Korea. So I'm here to say, first of all, that Korean beauty standards are honestly the least serious thing in the world, and it's not something that you should even spend 1 minute of your life worrying about. And let me give you some examples why. I also want to weigh in on something that I consider to be a huge myth around Korean beauty standards. And the myth is that those are not applied to foreigners. So one, they absolutely are. Almost every day of my life here, I have people commenting on something about my appearance from the perspective of Korean beauty standards. One time here, I had somebody ask me if outside of Korea, people tell me that I have a small face. And the answer is no, because that's stupid and nobody cares about that outside of Korea. Back to my main point, that Korean beauty standards are the least serious thing in the entire world. When I first moved here, I heard somebody say that Angelina Jolie is not pretty. If there's a country where the beauty standards say that one of the most beautiful women in the world is not pretty, like, can you really take it that seriously? Next, there is a young woman who is a celebrity who is widely considered amongst young men here to be the ideal physical type. Like, she is their favorite. They think she's the most beautiful. And no hate, because I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to spread any hate. I personally love her and I'm her fan, but her entire face has been surgically reconstructed. And that is not a hit against plastic surgery if people want to do that. But what's ridiculous is that the ideal beauty standard, not something that exists. Like, is a appearance of someone who is created by a professional whose job is to change people's appearances. For anyone who saw that video that I'm talking about, and I think you know the one, and if that has upset you in any way or offended you in any way, you really just have to know that the beauty standards of this country are just ridiculous. And It's just really not something to worry about. I know people will say that the beauty standards and appearance are very, very important in Korea. You're right that people are hired for jobs based on things like appearance, but as a foreigner, we're not going to get hired for those same jobs anyway. So again, just do not lose any sleep over it. Beauty standards in general by any country are by definition shallow. Like, they're stupid. Know that appearance in general, yes, I know it matters and it opens doors for people and it can change people's lives. But more importantly, if you don't fit into the Korean beauty standard, it doesn't matter, because if you move here, you'll see that most people who live here don't fit into it anyway. Like, it's this fake thing, it's made up. People do worship it a little bit in this weird way. Exactly. But you can absolutely move here, have a great life. People will think you're attractive. People will want to date you. You can be happy and you will be completely fine, even if you do not at all fit into this Korean beauty standard. Of Korea, there's a lot of good things about it, but I absolutely think that our more open-mindedness to more diverse beauty outside of Korea is definitely better. It's better for everybody. But I know I've made a few videos lately about the beauty standard here, and it's giving me the ick. Like, I just don't want to even talk about it anymore. So I think I'm done with it.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you're a foreigner and you're not white, the chance that you're going to be considered pretty in Korea is extremely low. As some of you guys already know, Korea has very specific beauty standards, and that being said, no matter if you're a foreigner or not, you have to fit into beauty standards if you want to be called pretty. Which means you have to...
You know what's crazy? Almost immediately when I meet people, within like minutes, if not seconds, I could tell if they have brown or black friends. You don't. You don't. I can tell. Okay. Because actually saying this out loud and posting it is... I'm going to tag 2 content creators, foreigner women of color, below, making their own response, because I'm trying to like stay in a certain sector. I will say though, I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself and the diverse group of friends I had in South Korea, the communities I was in and continue to have here in the United States. Let me tell you something. I know a single woman, brown, black, who gave a what a 30-year-old SoundCloud rapper working at the CU thought of them. Who gives a what a man thinks in 2025? Okay. No, okay, on a serious note. I'm gonna let y'all, because y'all don't know how to have context clues. You don't know how to like look for things anymore. I want you to go and look at the statistics of who the foreigners, the non-Koreans, who get the plastic surgery in South Korea. And I want you to go see the viral videos of all the foreigners who don't up their face trying to become Korean. Trying to become Korean. Now, they all got one thing in common. And I'm going to let you guess what the is. So, I don't know if this is breaking news, but whiteness is praised globally. Love, this is not a Korean thing. This is in the Latin community. This is in, I'm not gonna say the other ones. Okay, whiteness is praised globally. Breaking news. Koreans like pale white skin. Okay, breaking news. But that still means brown is beautiful. That still means black is beautiful. That doesn't mean black and brown women are sitting here begging for the validation of Korean society. Who gives like, you know?
Okay.
And the other funny thing, and this is tea, I don't know if it's now, because it's always a trend, unfortunately, but like I noticed in real time the modeling industry changing, because it was all the European, Russian little twinks when I got there. Then surely over time, yeah, they want a little melanin, they want some brown models, they want some black models. You would never see 10 years ago black and brown models in Gangnam like on the little LED screens, but now they're there, you know? So things are changing slowly. So this whole, like, the Korean beauty standard literally some 2011 YouTube bullshit. It's done. Korea is becoming globalized. It's becoming a little mixed. You can look at the statistics. So they got a lot of work to do, like catching up on society on paper with foreigners and rights. Anyways, the point is, let this shit go. Stop visiting Korea every 4 years and like pretending you know everything in the foreigner experience, especially a foreigner of color. Okay, everyone, have a good night.
To break it to you, but if you're a foreigner and you're not white, the chance that you're going to be considered pretty in Korea is extremely low. Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and apologize to everyone that I made feel uncomfortable and offended by my last video. I've only seen one stitched video, so I'll be apologizing for what I said wrong, and also I would like to clarify some of the things that I didn't intend to mean based on what was mentioned there. I've made videos talking about how I grew up ugly in Korea and started to get called pretty after moving to the States, and because of that video, there were some people asking me to explain how the beauty standard works differently towards non-Korean people, which is why I made that video. First of all, I was not the right person to make such a video like that because I've never lived in Korea as a non-Korean person, so I wouldn't know what it's like to be one, so it was very inconsiderate of me for even making that video in the first place. I also realized many things that I said in the video were pretty outdated. When I talk about Korea, I tend to talk about it based on what I experienced. But I didn't take into consideration that it's already been 5 years and many things that have changed, which is also my fault because it is my job to do the right research before making a video. I remember being quite shocked when I visited Korea back in 2022, which was my first time visiting ever since I moved to the States in 2019, by how there's so many things that have changed in such a short period of time. But I was not wise enough to realize that just like how things change, people change, the way they think change, and society change as well. So I want to apologize for that. Me being super defensive towards the other Korean girl's comment also came from me thinking that I know about Korea better than other people, which was super ignorant of me. Also, when I made the reply comment, I thought I was right because I remember seeing her making tutorials on how to brighten skin tone and things like that, when it could have been just her own experience, not the universal thing, so it was very immature and ignorant of me. And these are some of the things that I wanted to clarify. First is where it's mentioned that I used my voice to call her ugly, but that is not true at all. So this is basically what happened. I saw the reply comment this morning from filtered comment section, and I usually don't go through filtered ones, but honestly it got clicked by an accident because the phone that I was using was old and slow, so it was bugging. And I think that was like one of the first comments that I saw on there. And I remember it being like, oh, like, are you gonna leave the hate comments or something like that? And it was never my intention. So I tried to find the original comment, but I couldn't. So I thought I would approve the reply comment so I get a notification to delete it. So I did, and I didn't get any notifications. So I assumed that the original commenter had already deleted the comment, which turned out that they didn't, but I did not know, and I didn't even know that any replied to that comment. But I didn't have time to go through all the comments because I was already late for school. But one thing I want you guys to know is that I am very flawed and insecure person, so I'm the last person that will call someone ugly, especially for their skin color, as a person that literally got bullied for having a dark skin. I reached out and apologized to her for what happened, and we had a brief conversation, and she mentioned that my video made many women of color felt like they're less attractive, which they had to fight so long for, and that is something that I've never experienced as a person that grew up as a majority in Korea. And whether or not I intended, I am truly sorry for making many people feel the way they did. Second is where it's mentioned that I basically called a woman of color ugly, which is not what I intended at all. As I mentioned at the end of the original video, I really do not think anyone should care about if they fit in the beauty standard or not, especially fitting in the Korean beauty standard. Who literally cares? But I only made that video because I got requested to talk about it. Again, I said many wrong things, but I just wanted you guys to understand that I did not intend to talk down on anyone. Also, I really appreciate you guys for bringing up that I don't fit in the American beauty standard, but some people can still find me pretty, because I know it sounds embarrassing, but I was so stuck up that I didn't think of it that way towards other foreign people in Korea, that no matter what the beauty standard is, if you're pretty, you are pretty, and Korea is not an exception. Although I wish my boyfriend wasn't brought up into this conversation, that honestly really opened my eyes, and thank you guys so much for correcting and educating me on that.
Ciao. I don't even know why we're having this conversation at this point, but yeah, like, please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this video and this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thought. So for me personally, I feel like when it comes to the beauty standard, I understand why people are dragging her, but I don't see anything wrong with what she said. If you look through the Korea media, you'll find out that there's certain type, their own beauty standard is of what people of color or black people are not even included, because as much as they are not even dark skin, they even want to be whiter and lighter than that. So I don't see, like, she was just pointing out for me personally, I feel like the first part she was pointing out the Korea beauty standard, but I understand why people are talking about how she cannot understand or she can live the experience of foreigners or people with other colors in Korea to say. And I get it that because they are in your day-to-day life, they are not telling you to your face and all that. That does not mean that is not the reality. They're like, but if they say they should go with beauty standard, generally in the world, all beauty standard tends towards whiteness. And this is what also comes from the patriotic system and all that. It's always, the whiteness is considered pretty. It's only a couple of years recently that, they are considered black skin. And for me, even personally, I feel like dark skin, black skin, praise of melanin on media and even on social media, I feel like it's being performative compared to reality. In reality, I still feel like a lot of people still don't consider dark skin and black women beautiful. Does that mean that we are not beautiful? Hell no. Like, I feel like as black women, we are the blueprint of beauty, because as much as they don't consider us pretty, they want to do things like us. They want to braid their hair like us. They want their eyebrows lifted like us. They want their nose a little bit bigger than us. They want their lips fuller. I feel like we are the standard of beauty. So as much as that, they will still consider a white girl that has a black feature as beautiful, aka Angela Jolie that was mentioned in this video. I'm just going to point that out. Angela Jolie that was pointed in the video. And one of the reasons why people consider Angela Jolie beautiful is because she has fuller lips, and to have a fuller lips as a white woman is like rare, so it's being considered beautiful. But to have a fuller lips as a black woman is considered ugly. You guys see what I'm talking about here? So the standard of beauty generally in the world is tinted towards whiteness. And I feel like it's not specific to Korea. Even though I've never been to Korea, guys, so let me even state that I've never been to Korea. I only see Korea on TV and media and all that. That's where I've lived my Korea life through. But if you know Nigeria and Nigerians, they're obsessed with Korea. So I kind of dig dive into it, and I realized that they are very superficial. If you know you're Korea and you want to correct me, please go down in the comment section and correct me. I'm here for conversation, not to tussle. Please educate me down in the comment. But what I perceive Korea of documentary medias and all that, they are very, very superficial. Their image, the way they look is very, very important to them. So that is why there's a lot of surgery and there's a lot of skincare. I love their skincare. I use a lot of their skincare, and that has helped my skin. And you guys can tell my skin is popping. I give it to them. Their skincare technology, their surgery technology, it's amazing. If I go to Korea tomorrow, hey, I'll come out looking like a different person. So no shade to all that. But if you look at, from seeing it on media, on social media and all that, is that they are very superficial with looks. The way you look is very, very important. The way your face structure, and that's why even at young age, people still go around in Korea having surgery, changing the structure of your nose and all that. Why in my own society and even in the black society, is a rare thing you see that, okay, after over time, maybe when you have so much money, you can go. But I feel like when it comes to the black communities, even until recently, that we started really doing surgery and changing things about ourselves. But yeah, I feel like the standard of beauty generally is being classified as white. And I get it, other people that stitch the video are foreigners in Korea. But I also feel like there's this performative thing when it comes to you being a foreigner in a land. You guys know, like, I love Lebanon. I've been to Lebanon multiple times, and that's like my second home already. But you see that, oh, you see some people that walk up to you and admire you. I'm talking from my own experience in a foreign land that does not have a lot of black people there. You see a lot of people that will walk up to you and admire you because of your skin color. And then you see some people that you walk somewhere and they're already judging you because of your skin color. That is the reality in life generally, especially for black women, especially for dark-skinned black women. That is the reality, that a lot of the time you don't even know what you're going to get once you move in there, once you walk into a space and all that. But if you're a pale white skin person, you know exactly, like, people are not even going to think twice about, consider if you're pretty or not. I don't know if I'm making sense with this conversation anyway, but yeah, I feel like it's just a general word standard, and I saw why people are dragging her, but I really don't see why they are dragging her. I don't know if I'm making sense. She's just stating that if you're a foreigner, you're dark skin, Korea are very superficial with this thing, which that's how I come across on TV for me, that they are very superficial with their looks. And correct me if I'm wrong there, okay? Anyway, guys, go ahead down in the comment section, share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thought. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that'll be supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.